That's right. The
We're
show
not
that you
always
didn't know
late,
you needed.
marathon guy. We're just usually late. And today we were just taking a little extra time in the green room. We're like the band, you know, like they just kind of
Right.
hang out backstage. You're like, where are they? What are they doing? Showtime's like 6. You're like,
We thought we might have a guest with us too, and that did not happen.
That's true. We were waiting for, yes, a possible. He might still show up. Who knows? He might be here. We'll see. Might be a surprise.
Do you guys like the shorter intro? Let us know what you think. I got it down to 7 seconds or 13 seconds from 90.
Kev's been chopping away at it, trying to get it shorter because we've seen the retention of the audience.
People leave before it's over. People click off before it's over. So
our great intro, like who would click off that great intro? Like we spend so much time on it, and people just don't even care.
Right. So I've done 10 Goose shows.
10.
Right? I've watched 10 Goose shows, and one of them was fantastic. I was like, this band is great for one of them, and the rest.
Which show is that?
That was the Friday night in Denver at Fiddler's Green. They got split open melty. I mean, they got like really nasty, dirty, disjointed a few times. So
I'm curious, Kev, on this one. Why do you think they've gone from playing Red Rocks to playing Fiddlers now? It seems to be like they're done with Red Rocks and have moved.
Well, they have such a fan base in Denver. I mean, Red Rocks holds what, 7,000-8,000, maybe 9, and Fiddler holds 18.
Yeah, twice, and they do 2 nights at Fiddlers. It's just sad to see that they kind of like blew past that already.
Yeah,
and I don't feel like
but then the other thing is they're playing Brooklyn Bowl in Vegas, which holds 3,000. So it just depends on where they are.
It just depends on where, I guess. Yeah. But
you know,
it's
Denver
funny
is
when bands do that.
Denver is the jam band mecca. Besides Connecticut and Denver are like the jam band meccas of the United States.
Do you think they will be playing Dick's at some point? Is that next?
No, I don't think they'll do Dick's.
Okay.
I don't think they'll ever do more than 2 nights in Denver. I don't think it'll be a 3 or 4 night run ever.
But could they do 1 night at Dick's then?
Yeah, sure. But you want people to come for a weekend.
Because I mean, I would personally rather see them at Dick's than Fiddler's Green. Like I grew up right next to Fiddler's Green. I hate that fucking place.
I saw Willie Nelson there with Bob Dylan back in 94, I guess. And I was supposed to see Depeche Mode, and they canceled that show because the one guy, Dave's voice was messed up and he couldn't sing. It was like the only show of the whole tour they canceled, so I missed it.
I like to humbly brag about Red Rocks being my home base and how many great shows growing up I got to see there. But low key, I saw a lot of shows at Fiddlers because a lot of bands came. I saw Huey Lewis, I saw NXS, I saw all the Lollapaloozas there. I saw there was a lot of and low key just fun things that I would just go to because, like I said, it was basically like a few blocks from my house. So you'd be like, oh, Bryan Adams is playing tonight. All right, fine, let's just go up there and like $5 for a ticket. Let's go.
I felt like Fiddlers when I was back there years ago, Jason, was kind of, I was like, of all the venues, this is the one you picked to play.
Right. So, I'll say this. Yeah. The reason I always say that about that was growing up when you had Red Rocks and then they built Fiddlers. It was before all of those things were built like that, that had the little pit area, then all the seats and then the grass area. And it had sort of that slope grass area to it too, which could be a little bit steep and you could bail kind of hard on it. And the biggest problem I had with Fiddlers was its location. It's in the middle of what they call the DTC, the Denver Tech Center. And it's like there's businesses and it's just in a very weird place for me to and it's not very conducive to hanging out and having a concert and pre-partying and stuff, because if it's during the week, there's people at work and businesses around you. And if it's on the weekend, it's low-key dead because it's in a business park area. So
nowhere
it's just a weird venue. It's never been my favorite.
I hear you with that. You know what happened in 71 today? At Red Rocks? There was a riot at Red Rocks with Jethro Tull, and they almost did not have any more rock bands ever play there again. Jethro Tull caused a riot.
Tull and Morrison. That's right. That's right. That's right.
God help them.
Bands have caused riots in Morrison, and they always Toll was the first in the legacy of that like everyone always referred to as that. So that's funny.
Kenny Loggins. I changed all my passwords to
Kenny Loggins definitely slayed Fiddler's
Kenny.
Oh yeah.
So I have all Kenny Loggins.
I think it's interesting though, on that note though, Kev, like you said, Colorado being such a Denver, especially in Boulder area, being such a jam band friendly area, that there's no other. It's like we talk about it with PHiSH. It was like Red Rocks and then sort of Fiddler's area, but then there was no other before even Dick's came around. There was nothing else that they to go
inside,
right? Like
you'd have to go inside to
McNichols, and then even that, but then that became Pepsi, and they never even played the Pepsi Center. They played that what's gone now, the Union Center or whatever was out in Bloomfield or whatever it was when they played a show out there, First Bank Center. But other than that, where else do you go when you grow? So it's interesting if Goose does grow more and get bigger, where they would play out there. So
right, Mishawaka, Bill, isn't that tinier? Mishawaka, isn't that like 3,000-4,000 though?
Yeah, that's super small, and that's up north too. That's kind of like far.
Well, good for Goose, Michael. I'm glad that they just took
Goose took the stage. Where are they playing tonight?
St. Louis, Missouri, some indoor arena.
Okay.
So, all right, you want to jump to the first
slide here?
Yeah, we got sad stuff. The other day Sly died, right? And that really hit me hard. I'm a huge fan of Sly. I feel like he revolutionized rock and roll with this set at Woodstock. I mean, all these white people were like, "Oh, I didn't know about that." And then on the other hand, on the other side, we had Brian Wilson died today, who couldn't have been whiter.
Yes, on both. It's kind of it's we were talking about this in the green room too, though, just a little bit ago backstage. Is there's a lot of them at this age where I kind of feel like it's going to be sad, but not really surprising at who's going to start. You never know. And like you said, there's one more to fall because it usually happens in threes, and this is two. So who's the third? And that kind of got us on the conversation of like, oh, well, one of these days it is going to be like Keith, or it's going to be a Bobby,
right.
And you're going to be like, oh shit. So it definitely sucks. I mean, Brian Wilson, what a fucking legacy. I mean,
change pop music. Pet Sounds change pop music. I will give him that. I always had a problem with the misogyny in the Beach Boys lyrics. 2 girls for every boy. And, girls were a car or a surfboard. They were just an object that you had, not so.
Right. Very, Beach Boys and Jan and Dean, that the surf music of that time. But I mean, the Beach Boys, it was always so funny how, poppy and whatever they could be. It's kind of like the Beatles, with how poppy and like whatever, but then how also influential and drug infused and genius they actually got to in that music. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of.
But they also got to a point where they stopped writing new music. I mean, they had Kokomo in the 80s, but beyond that, they released. I tell you what happened in '75. They released the Beach Boys' greatest hits, "Endless Summer." And it became a resurgence of them, all these people who grew up listening to them. And then they hit the circuit and toured like every summer for years until it was, they broke up. Now it's just Mike Love. Yes, Brian will always be a legend. The thing with Sly, though, is he got into the Ready Rock at one point, apparently, and like went down a hard road with that. So,
I mean, Sly's music was so it's hard to describe it. It's hard to put it in words because it was so transformative and like monumental and like what it did, with everything. So it's a hard one to really wrap your head around with everything that was influenced after him and what he did. It's, and like you said, the Woodstock set and things, it's phenomenal. And it's like two big hitters in a couple days. It's sad. It's tough.
Yes, it is. It is. And we will not be doing an office pool.
That's right. Beach Boys still touring with Stamos. They did get an extra. They have been kind of nostalgic acting it for the last.
Now, is this a Mike Love Beach Boys? Oh, look who we got.
Our surprise guest is here.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Oh, hey, what's up?
How we doing?
What's up, Llama?
Not much, man. Hanging in there.
Yeah.
A rough week, yeah.
We were talking about Brian Wilson and Sly. You have any thoughts? Or are you a Beach Boys person, or?
A casual Beach Boys fan, but I really enjoy Sly and the Family Stone. I think everything that could be said about Sly is in that documentary Questlove made.
Oh, right,
about
right,
Sly. Right. Like that's my plug, right? Go watch that in memory of Sly, because like it shows just how influential he really was.
Mm-hmm. He definitely was.
I mean, that's what we were saying. Was it's hard to put hard to talk about because it was so. I mean, he's so influential, and I think everybody goes through the stages of listening to his music. You know what I mean? Like it kind of introduces you to something else, or you fall into it when you kind of go through that funk phase of your, listening when you're first like getting into.
You watch the Woodstock movie when you're like 13, 14. You watch the Woodstock movie and you're like, wait, take me higher. What's this guy? What is this? You know, Joan Baez 1 minute and wow, cool. You got Joan Baez 1 minute and then Sly the next.
And I mean, it just also speaks to how great the Woodstock was and like the music then that they could create. I mean, it's phenomenal. But yeah, it's
absolutely.
Sad day. Hold on, where's my cool thing? We need a cool thing.
You need a cool thing?
Look at that framing. Framing it. All right.
Nice.
So you listen to much have you ever listened to much PHiSH 95, Llama? Have you ever gone through any of it, or?
I got New Year's Eve on vinyl, man.
Okay.
Like that's such a like capstone to that year. Like all those shows were fire. Wasn't there a show in Binghamton that year that was like really good?
And where?
Binghamton, New York.
Oh, okay.
I think there
was like, I think it was the Alligator Show, if I'm not mistaken. Like where some guy in the audience was like, or Trey mentioned something about like a moat.
They played Finger Lakes Performing Center in Canandaigua, New York.
Canandaigua?
That's something like that. A couple nights, the Man, Saratoga, Jones Beach, 2 nights.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what this tour had. This tour had the Mud Island Tweezer, and then a couple nights later, it had the Finger Lakes, the Fleazer, that had a 3-song second set that was theme Tweezer reprise. Some fantastic shows. The Man shows everyone loves, but I tell you what, I went and saw Jerry. That was the last 2 times I saw Jerry at RFK was the same nights as those shows. So I only saw one show on this tour, the Nissan show on the 17th, the only time they played there. And Dave Matthews and who was the sax player?
Leroy.
Yeah, they came out and they did 3 Little Birds for the encore, and that was also the night they broke out Johnny Be Good.
Oh, nice.
For the first time out of Tweezer. But we were thinking about going through at some point, T and I, and trying to maybe hear them or rank them because it's been 30 years. But then there's also
since then, and like I think I saw 3 shows this year. I saw 2 Red Rocks, and then this was the Nebraska year too that they did Lincoln in October and the fall, and I went to that show, which was one of my top 3 shows all time. I love that show. So I mean, 95 was a monster. I thought like that. It's one of my favorite re-listen PHiSH years. It's fantastic, and the fact that it's an anniversary year of it, and we're heading into summer tour in a couple weeks.
Would it be safe to say that it's unjustly overshadowed by 97?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I don't think it gets nearly the love and the appreciation it deserves.
Right. PHiSH didn't pop on a lot of people's radar until later in 95 after this tour was over and Jerry died. It was the fall tour and fall tour that year that was the first time I ever saw people looking for tickets outside of PHiSH show and not finding them.
Same year they released the live one, right? And I think that brought a lot of people in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, that stash on there is legendary.
Yep,
sure.
That
That gumbo is great.
That gumbo is great.
Gumbo.
Mm.
I'm loving it. You're not doing any fish shows this summer, are you, Llama? You're like me.
Yeah, I know. They're just not convenient to anywhere that I live, really. I mean, Chicago, maybe. I don't know, but I doubt it.
Right. Well, if you go to Chicago, make sure to check out Joe Marcinik's Dead Funk Summit afterwards with Melvin Seals and Mark and Aaron from the Disco Biscuits and Apartment 258 from Aquarium Rescue.
I would say, Kev, if anybody's going to any fish shows this summer, they should check out our pre and post show guide that we did today on fish shows that will be playing pre and post shows for all of your pleasure. And there are some fantastic ones. Every city except for, where was it, Kev? That doesn't
Forest Hills and the Man.
And the Man don't have any after shows, but if you're going to any other fish shows, there is plenty to do post show and even pre show wise in a lot of the cities for good prices too and great music.
I'd rather go to a pre-show than an after show. Like at 11 o'clock, I'm ready for bed, man. Like,
you're him. We talk about that on the thing. Kevin actually asked that question and brings that up, and it's like, who likes to go to pre-shows, especially pay, like, because one of them was $20 or something. And we were like, you really don't want to pay that much for a pre-show because you're kind of like going to like warm up and do it.
Yeah. If the bar is smart and does it for free, then you're getting people coming in and eating. So you're getting that, and they're at least drinking 2 drinks, if not 3. So you're going to run up the bar tab pretty good.
Yeah. And like you said, too, it's a good Sunday thing to like roll into because you can kind of pre-show and hang out and get going into the show. And then, like you say, Llama, post-show, you're done because you've already seen 2 shows that day. So you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Call it a day.
Or you just skip the fish show part and just sleep and get
and
up
just
at
go
like
get there early for the after show.
Because we got Taper's Choice doing a night 0.
Yes.
Against Pink Talking Fish. That's crazy that they have those 2 bands going head to head against each other on night 0.
I know, on night 0 too. Both of them pre-show nights. So that's good though. It shows you that whole weekend in Boulder is crazy. I was shocked at what you brought up with everyone playing that weekend. I mean, it's a great 3-4 nights of music.
What's up with Utopia for a reason?
What's up with I'm not going to Hampton, Michael. No. What's up, Mike? What's
up, Mike? No, not going to Hampton. I'm with the shoulder and everything right now. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to Boulder or not. Everything's kind of up in the air.
Right. Do we get a Taper's Choice update? Or are we ever going to get a studio album from Taper's Choice, Llama? What do you think?
Well, technically, that cassette that they released during their first Troubadour show is their first proper studio album.
Prog Hat?
Right.
Prog Hat. 4 songs, 2 sides. What more can you ask for?
What more can you ask for? There it is.
I would like to see a full length. What songs
are full length? There are 4 songs. It starts off with Pino Botticelli, and then it goes to Donor Rap, and then side B is the Dave Test Yes, and then Song Hat, which is a new song.
Right. I would love to hear the Lilac song in the studio.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, that's such a beautiful song, man. The playing
it
on
is. It's great.
Playing on it is exquisite. His guitar work on that is just Look at you with the tape. Do you have a tape player?
I do. I do have a tape player. I have a couple.
Do you?
I do.
I do. No. Sorry. I have a tape though.
I have a lot of I still have all my bootlegs, man. Come on. I need a tape player.
Library.
There you go.
It's from the public library. It was due September 30th, 1987.
That's when it was due back?
That's what it was due back, yes.
You know what the
I'm sure that I paid for it. I'm sure I paid for it, like outright had to buy it in order to use my card, again.
I know.
Taper's Porn. What the hell is that?
Taper's Porn.
Capers.
Wow.
That's how Bob Crane died. From Hogan's Heroes, the guy on Hogan's Heroes. Yeah. He shouldn't have been making that tape. All right, let's talk about Mike Gordon. You know, he turned 60.
Nice. Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
It's a little depressing.
You know, I mean, when I think about it, like the first time I saw him, I was 18. So he was, 24? And he seemed like they were so much older than me.
Yeah.
But now 6 years is nothing. I feel like I'm the same age as him, you know? We both got our AARP cards.
It's pretty, I mean, at least these days, 60 doesn't feel as old as it did when we were younger. Like when we were younger, I felt like 60 was like, holy shit, man.
I don't know, man. The Bonnaroo co-founder just died at 51, man.
I know.
Well, did you see? I don't know. Did you guys see Ananda Lewis, the old VJ on MTV, passed away from breast cancer today too, and she was 52. I was like, holy moly! Like, what? Yeah. I was like, no, like, oh my god! And yeah, when that shit starts hitting, yes, well, to your point, yeah, it's a little. I know, but like 60. I mean, like, these days, I feel like better health wise, 60 doesn't feel as old as it did when we were younger. Like when your parents turned 60 and shit when we were kids, I always felt like I was like, holy shit, they're old. But now it's like, you still got, you know, you look at, I think too, to the point of like, you know, the rock stars all they're playing, you look at some of them in their 80s still out there going strong and doing their thing. And you're like, okay, like keep going.
Right. But it's like a dichotomy, right? It's either Paul McCartney, who's like a vegetarian, eats healthy,
right,
or Keith Richards, who does all the drugs. There's no in between.
Do you think Keith Richards still parties? Yeah, so I think you get to a certain point and you're pickled. You don't even need to party anymore. You've done it all. You know?
I feel like those guys like discovered healthy eating, like Mick and Keith discovered like healthy eating and yoga and shit in it. That's what kind of extended their lifespan type thing, you know, like cutting out some of that shit and only indulging in it occasionally. Whiskey and cigarettes, no sunblock. There you go. That was it. That was basically my childhood.
That is an odd shirt. Yeah, Keith Richards just sweats alcohol. You're absolutely right. They sacrifice people or something to keep him alive. I'm sure he has some like weird.
That's right. Well, they're drinking that blood under the pizza parlor or wherever the fuck, and like that whole thing.
Definitely. So anyway, we brought up Mike. God bless Mike. Nectar's closed. It's done. They said they're closing for the summer and they want to reopen in the fall. We'll see about that. And volume.com showed all the shows last week. Dobbs Dead, which is the band Cotter from Goose used to sit in with all the time up there. Fantastic. They covered like 2 Gin and things like that, like Rat Dog songs. So it wasn't your straight Grateful Dead kind of cover band, but a guy named Bob Wagner played on Thursday, and about 45 minutes into the set, Mike came out and did Call Me the Breeze, which he's been doing with his solo band recently. He's added that to the set with the new one in New Orleans. And John Cleary's Got to Be More Careful, which I guess was on a 2017 album maybe of his, or he's been doing it for a while. But he came out, and I feel like it was a nice bookend, closing circle, because, you know, PHiSH owes a lot to Nectar's, and, you know, all these years later coming back.
For sure. And he lives right up the street from it. You know, so like for him to drop in is nothing. It's kind of like his.
It's cool that he stayed there. It's cool.
That is cool. Well, he gets, you know, he's built the compound there and everything. I think it's perfect for him.
I want a compound. I forgot to mention it was a Water Wheel Foundation benefit show too. So.
Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. So, Kev, how long are they closed for? When do they think they're coming back?
They said they were going to close for the summer.
Okay.
So, and that they said that they want to reopen in the fall. So we'll see. Maybe they'll fix the construction on the road and they can get the foot traffic back. Because I think that's what was killing them. Kids not coming in, or people not coming in and buying fries in the afternoon just because it's Nectar's, because you can walk up to it, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Who will live longer? Keith Richards, Bob Weir, or William Shatner? I think William Shatner will.
You do?
Oh, definitely. I mean,
really?
Have you ever seen him sing Rocket Man?
Oh yeah.
No.
And that
And his version of the Pulp song.
I don't know.
No, is it not?
He does
People?
the Rocket Man really slow. And
it's so good.
I'm trying to work up a version of Ruby Waves like that, with me singing Ruby Waves.
I don't know. That's a really good question though, because they're all kind of like Common People. Thank you, Mike Scriven. Yes, Shatner's version of Common People is money. It's fantastic. It's so good. I don't know. I mean,
I'm still going Keith, man. Like, I think I'm gonna die before Keith.
I feel like Keith and Bobby, as long as they keep playing,
Bobby
that's their lifeline.
The
Shatner doesn't really. He argues with people on Twitter these days. So I don't know. I would say Bobby. I don't think Bobby's ever going to die.
I guess there are worse ways you could spend your time. Maybe he needs to get off Twitter.
Yeah.
You know? There it is. So, what do you think about the Psycho Killer video, Llama? Did you get to watch that, the Talking Heads video?
I have not watched it yet.
Strange. It looks like a commercial for it looks like a commercial for something. I mean, it's really weird.
Okay.
It's an odd.
She's like going to work and she's brushing her teeth and she's driving in her car, and
I have a lot of questions.
And then there she was.
There she was. Where does why did we need that? And what was the inspiration behind all of a sudden wanting to do that? And
I think it was because David Byrne knew he was putting out his solo stuff.
New solo album, and they had all the hype around shit so they could
I mean, how much did you see the size of the tour he announced and a whole new album? I mean, it seems like he kind of used the Talking Heads 50th anniversary
to launch that. Oh, for sure. Tour. Oh, it was for sure marketed that way. It was a for sure launch for that. Definitely. Yeah, Frank, you're right. Shatner is into his horses and autism awareness, which is very cool. I love Shatner. He's Captain Kirk forever.
But I did spell Byrne correctly. Yeah. But you didn't spell it correctly. That's right. Yeah, that's what you get there. So the album's going to be called Who Is the Sky? And the first single, Everybody Laughs, is out. It has 12 songs, and there's something called the Ghost Train Orchestra out in New York City, and they have it's like an experimental chamber music group kind of. So I'm really interested to see where this album goes. My thing is, it seems like everything David Byrne has done since the Talking Heads broke up has sounded pretty much the same. Like he's put out the same album over and over again.
It's hard to say that because they're so eclectically. Yes, in that vein, yes, it is the same. It's that same weird David Byrne, but that's him. So I don't know what else you would kind of expect it to be, sort of thing. But I don't know. Well, I wonder how his tour. I'm excited for his tour, though, because I wonder. He's such an entertaining live performer. I mean, even the thing he did this last weekend with Olivia Rodrigo, where they did Burning Down the House together, was so much they obviously practiced that and choreographed it together because they did the funny dance moves together. And he's just it's so crazy, but cool, but also funny, and almost you want to make fun of it, but it's also good. And it's so weird the way he walks that fine line and gets away with what he does. And their thing was awesome. I don't know if you saw that, Llama, too, but that was fantastic. Her whole set was awesome, actually.
Imagine they called each other up and were like, "You wearing red tonight?"
What an odd pairing, though. I don't even know where that came from, but again, riding that wave of hurt with him, he's good with everybody. So that was really cool to see.
They're and the look, the joy on her face and his. Like the pictures of them, you could see how into it they were. Yeah, the Talking Heads. I'm going to go right now and say Talking Heads are never going
They
to tour
never
again.
will play together again. Like, go watch that. You can watch the video from the Stop Making Sense on the site from the Pantages a couple months ago that we filmed that they did, and you can get a sense of that in there, that they're just not gonna play together again.
Right. Well, I think that this is cool though, because the American Utopia was you know, only on Broadway. So this is going to be all over. And I think it's late. Somebody said on Blue Sky that they got nosebleeds for $40 wherever they were in Missouri or something like that for it. So I mean, for $40, I would definitely go, even if you only get a third of it that is Talking Head stuff.
Or even just a few songs that are I mean, it wouldn't matter. Like I said, he's entertaining enough. I think you would have an enjoyable enough time. I don't think you can really go being like, oh, I hope he's gonna play like greatest hits of Talking Head song. I think you have to expect that he's gonna play shit that he wants to play, right? And like mix in
apparently St. Vincent is going to be on the album too. So
that makes sense.
He's planning to go from September in America, then Europe, Australia, and New Zealand in 2026. So he's doing a world tour there.
Good for him. There you go.
He did tour American Utopia. I did not know that, Joe.
Yeah, he did.
Nice. So 13-person band with choreography and movement.
You can bet that choreography and movement is going to be outrageously fun, entertaining.
It is going to be outrageously fun. Yeah. Watch the video of them doing that, though. That's fun. That was cool stuff there.
That's cool, though. Yeah, it's sad that they'll never play with the band again, but at least he's still out there cranking music and doing things. And again, it's so weird to me that video came out. I just don't even understand what the point of that, like where that came from and like why. But they've been in the news so much for a band that isn't doing anything, like, you know, isn't coming back or isn't reuniting or doing anything. They've been in the news so much for like the last 2 years, I feel like, that it's always all this hype and everyone gets all excited. And it's like, oh, well, it's just a re-release of the movie. Oh, it's just a music video. Oh, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's so, but everyone gets so excited every time and they keep teasing it. It's just, yeah, I don't know.
Right. I think David Byrne just doesn't want to look back.
Well, yeah, for sure. But it's just funny that they're still that relevant, though, that they can do things like that and everyone jumps and is like, oh, yes.
Or, okay, you don't want to look back, make a new album with them, with the other guys from the band.
I don't think the other folks want to work with David.
Like, I think they would.
See, it's like us. It's like Tim is our David Byrne and we're the rest of the Talking Heads. And Tim doesn't want to work with us. And I'm kidding.
I mean, you know, why would you not want that payday, man?
For some people, money doesn't really matter. Like, enough is enough for them, right?
And maybe to them, like, you know, we've talked about it, Kev, like with some of the bands we've talked about where life on the road, they're done with that, right? Like, they don't want to do it or they don't want to play anymore. They don't want to do that anymore. And for other people, that's their lifeblood. Like for Bobby, right? Like, he's going to die on stage because he can't not do it. So I think it's kind of that wherever you're at.
And it's also how you do it, because somebody like the way Widespread does it, they play 3 shows, they take off a month, they play 3 shows, which, hey, I would love to be able to work 3 days a month. That's it. God help me. Oh my God, ABBA, yeah. Well, you know, the ABBA guy, Bjorn, whichever one he is writing a new musical, and he is using a songwriting partner whose initials are AI. And he like spoke out against it for years, and now he says it's really a help. It's something. He said someone to bounce ideas off of. So he's personified a bunch of ones and zeros. Well, they did a hologram thing like Kiss did called Voyager a year or 2 ago, where they had a holograms of them up there singing. And
of them?
Yes, of ABBA, just like Kiss does. Now that is milking it. We can't even play anymore, but we're going to send our holograms.
We'll send our holograms out and make some money.
That's fantastic. All right. Well, we were supposed to jump when I mentioned Widespread.
That was the jump.
Yeah, because Widespread had Billy come out with them. Did you see any of that?
Yes, I had a couple buddies that were there and said it was like fantastic. So I had some videos,
dirty,
and some stuff
swampy, sludgy. Just when Billy walked out, when you watch and he walks out with the Paul Reed Smith, you're just like, yes. No acoustic guitar here. He's going to plug in because that's what I want from Billy. I want to hear him play electric.
Especially on the sit-ins, I feel like you want him coming in there strong and sitting in, bringing
the whole second set. Second set. I mean, wow. The next night they had Jerry Joseph, who wrote a bunch of songs for Widespread. He only played on 2 songs with them. So Jerry Joseph's fun. I got to interview him once, right? And we're live. And he's like, I got to let the dog out. I'm like, cool. So he's gone for like 5 minutes. He like went out with the dog and hung out. Like,
took a break. Went out and had a cigarette.
Here we are.
A break. Need to go out and smoke a Merit. Give him a break.
Need a break.
It's all right. It's all right.
He was fascinating. He was going to do a tour with the guy from the Drive-By Truckers. They had recorded an album together, and they were going to tour Europe. And all the management was like, don't mention Widespread Panic or jam bands because people in Europe just don't get that. And I was like, that's so weird that they would downplay. I mean, Widespread Panic obviously isn't as big a name of PHiSH, but, I think they're well respected enough. 30 years more, maybe. I don't know when they started. I had a tape when I lived in Boulder in the early 90s of them. It was like the first time I noticed them.
Who was the set that you prefer more? Was Billy sitting in with Widespread or when he sat in with PHiSH?
Oh, definitely with Widespread.
Yeah, that's it too. I thought
he loves Widespread. He's a Widespread person. He would be at a Widespread show hanging out. I feel like that.
The whole reason he got on the PHiSH stage was he wanted to go to the PHiSH show. He was trying to get tickets from Trey, and then Trey was like, "Hey, how about you just come and play with us instead?" He's like, "What? Okay." So same thing, but I feel like what you're saying in there, and generally speaking, is that
86 for Widespread Panic. I looked it up, but the chat kind of has it in there. So,
oh yeah.
Man,
I feel like I think he grooved with them very well.
I saw him in '94 open up for Blues Traveler on the 4th of July at the Red Rocks.
At the Red Rocks.
And that's the only time I've ever seen him. I need to go see a Widespread show now, though. I just never liked the guy's voice. JB's voice was my thing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny because that's the thing I like about them. I think it's a different sound and a unique voice in that space. So that's funny.
Mm-hmm. And they did. The best part is, if you haven't seen any of it, you want to check it out there in viewers land. Find the Rockin' in the Free World Encore because they're just banging away. You could have heard that thing on the moon. Probably it was loud.
Yeah,
you gotta love that. All right, what else we got? Oh, Sir Paul came out with The Boss over in Liverpool, wherever the Liverpool Football Club plays in England.
That's fun.
Yeah, and did Can't Buy Me Love and A Hard Day's Night. No, Can't Buy Me Love from A Hard Day's Night and Kansas City that Little Richard did about the train. Songs about trains. My question to you is, why does Bruce always pick some lame song? Kansas City or Mustang Sally or something like that,
Because I don't think Bruce thinks it's a lame song. Bruce thinks it's like rock and roll. You know what I mean? Like that's to him because he always picks those kind of those 50s sort of like the songs that he kind of grew up on. The
songs melody. He does Devil with a Blue Dress. Good golly, Miss Molly.
Right, exactly, and can like rock out to it and feels like his audience appreciates that because they like that kind of cover and it's kind of that rock and roll vibe for that, and it's just like who he is, and so it makes sense. And I think the whole thing with Paul was awesome. Like talk about a dream thing. Like that's like him coming out with PHiSH and
love.
sitting down. You're like, this is insane. The two and in the like, I was blown away. I thought that was so cool.
If you're gonna do a Beatles tune, though, I mean, I don't know. If you wanted to do
I think
Beatles
Paul
tune,
had more of a say in the Beatles tune. I think Paul was like, "I'll play Can't Buy You Love," and that's it.
Right? Why not Help? I guess John Lennon wrote that, but Help is such a fantastic early song.
Yeah, I think though Bruce is probably like, let's do something fun and catchy, and I feel like Bruce would play that song on his own anyway. That's to your point, Kev. One of those like cheesy songs that you wouldn't like him playing, but his audience would eat up and he would love playing, and so I feel like that fits perfectly with him and them and what you want to hear, and it's just how fun, like so much fun. I love it. We talk about collabs all the time, and that's one of those great ones, like two heavyweights like together at a show. And I don't think they knew that was going to happen, right? So like you're even more surprised when Sir Paul walks out. You're like, what? Sweet.
Yeah, I hear you with that. I hear you. All right. What else do we got? What happened in the last week? Dave Matthews Band. You know, they had Jason Crosby come out with them last week.
Hey, Kev, real quick, one thing on the Bruce Springsteen thing, though. I will say those Bruce Springsteens versus the United States hats that people have and that they're selling are fantastic. Those are freaking awesome. I want one so bad. My good Bruce Springsteen fan in New York, she just got one. I'm like, you got to give me one of those. I love it. Those things are awesome. So, yeah. I mean, you should love Bruce. It feels very punk rock. Like you should love Bruce, Kev. I feel like he's very much right up your alley. Like Americana songs, took me a long time. Poetry.
Right, man. It took me a long time until someone gave me a bootleg tape, and I was like, "Oh, people bootleg tape this guy," and so that's what opened the door for me.
Dude, he's got everything you would like especially in the 70s and shit. His like insane jams that they would do at those shows, and like the bootlegs, and like the pure rock, the horn section, the whole band behind him, the poetry in it, the Americana of it.
Fantastic.
I don't know.
Fantastic.
I feel like he's right up your alley.
Yeah, so Dave Matthews had Jason Crosby come out for Ants Marching and Pig, and Very Boy Tinsley. He played fiddle. He came out and played fiddle. He wasn't on keyboards. And the next day he flew to Brazil to do 2 shows, and had Gabriel Grossi, who is a famous Brazilian musician, come out and play harmonica with him. Then 2 days later flew back and played in Jersey again, at the other place up the street in Jersey. I'm like, that's so weird, dude. You flew all the way to Brazil. What can we do? You guys are Dave Matthews fans. Neither am I.
I mean, I like Dave.
I appreciate Dave. He's a good artist. Puts on a good show.
Yeah, he does. He puts on a great show. I used to I haven't seen him in probably, God, I don't even want to date it. How long ago was my last Dave show? But I love Dave. I still don't understand the hate towards him that everyone has, that a lot of people have. Not everyone has, but a lot of people.
I don't have hate towards him. I just, you know what my issue is? Back in 94, there was
back in 94. Where's our back in the day music?
Yeah. Right. There was a show in Tempe, I guess. Tempe, Arizona. Yeah, there it is. Dreaming had just come out, right? So they had one of those posters that you had to stare at to see what it was. If you just looked at it. I stood in line for a half hour at this Spotapod. It was on the Spotapod, waiting to use the bathroom, and I could never figure out what it said. And everybody's like, oh, everybody around me is just seeing it. And I'm like, screw this. And then when I found out what it was, I was like, I'm never seeing that band. Screw them. Their poster I couldn't read.
That's it. You gave up. It's like the Taper's Choice record that you couldn't see either.
Yeah.
God help me.
Just keep staring at it.
Billy Joel, Billy Joel has a documentary on HBO, and so it goes, right? And in it, he talks about, before he got famous, he cheated on his best friend's wife, John Small, and Billy hooked up. And apparently he tried to kill himself. Once he overdosed on sleeping pills and went into a coma. The second time, he drank an entire bottle of Lemon Pledge. trying to kill himself. I'm just like, this is just so bizarre. And he checked himself into a psychiatric ward, and then when he got out, he wrote Piano Man and all that stuff and put out that first album and became huge. So strange.
So strange.
I mean, he has this weird dichotomy of where he's super popular, but he is not cool at all. You know what I mean?
You know, and it was never believable. Once he married Christy Brinkley, it was never believable hearing him sing Just the Way You Are anymore. You're like, you married Christy Brinkley, dude.
But I feel like that was such an accomplishment for like one of those like like losers could be like, look at we can win too. You know what I mean? Like and one of those like age old things where like the ugly rock star gets the supermodel chick. You know what I mean? Like sort of not that he's ugly, but he was sort of like like the short like pop whatever. And you're like Christy Brinkley, especially that time was like the hottest girl on the planet, right? So you're like, how is Billy Joel nailing that? But
right,
that's funny.
Right, you know, Wu-Tang's on tour.
Wu-Tang,
hard left.
Yeah, they are
left.
Most of them are left.
Kevin's in like speed round mode now. This is where it's just wild card. It's not Jamband Round, it's Jamband wild card. Just
right. It's RZA, GZA, Method Man, Raekwon, Ghostface Killah, Inspector Deck, You God, and Master
RZA and GZA.
And yeah, because I don't want to say them. And then they had Young Dirty Bastard,
Young Dirty Bastard.
They had Young Dirty Bastard's kid, and he came out and did Shimmy Shimmy Yeah, Brooklyn Zoo, and Got Your Money.
Shimmy Yeah.
Can we need a segment?
This is why they said Wu-Tang's for the children. The old guys just get it all wrong.
We need Kev to do a Wu-Tang minute, I think, every week now, and just read like Wu-Tang lyrics and songs and people in the band. That was fantastic.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Wow.
All right. I would go see Wu-Tang if they hadn't already played, and I had to realize. Yeah, I heard that. Is that tonight, One Piece? I was going to mention that. I guess it already happened. Michael Kang from String Cheese is saying before the NBA Finals there. Which is weird. I want to know the backstory, how they ended up with him doing that. Since they're from Colorado, you know?
Yeah, that is an interesting.
Who are they going to find from Indiana?
That would make sense, right? But not even that. I don't know.
What'd you say, Loma?
I said, who are they going to find from Indiana to do something? I mean, or Oklahoma for that matter.
Hey, they got John Mellencamp sitting in the crowd every game. Yeah. Just pull his ass out of the front row and have him sing it.
Yeah, yes, to boot. I am going over the stuff because it's the week before tour starts. Next week we'll have Scotty Marks on, and it's been a slow week. It's been a really slow week to boot.
Other than people dying, it's been a slow week. Yeah, we
other than people dying. All right,
and a couple some riots going on in my backyard out here, but other than that, it's been a quiet week.
Yeah.
One more to boot, because we heard this one too, but I just can't help myself with this. Paul Stanley, they're doing a Kiss biopic, right? And Paul Stanley is going to be played by Nick Jonas.
Okay. What do you think?
I got nothing for you. You got nothing for me?
You don't think? I don't know. I think it could work. I mean, is it as egregious as Jonah Hill as Jerry Garcia?
No.
Depends on how long his tongue is.
No.
It is not.
Because
I guess I think they have a prosthetic tongue for him.
That's Gene Simmons anyways.
Yeah, I was going to say, that wasn't... We're talking Paul, right? Not Gene.
I don't know, man. I get them all mixed up. They wear makeup. They all look
all right, so here's the... Who would you want to see play the rest of them? That's the real question. It's from 73. This is going to focus on the early years. So.
Okay, I want to see him only in makeup the entire movie with no-name actors, right?
Love it.
That might be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Didn't they used to have a Kiss cartoon where they were just in the makeup the whole time and like
I think so.
Ran around and did shit?
The cover of that, the cover of which album was that? Unmasked. Like it looked like a comic book strip, and like trying to them in the limos like this, and they People Magazine or somebody, Rolling Stone or somebody, offered $1 million for a picture of them without their makeup. at one point in like 80 when they were huge, right before they did like what was that stupid rock opera, The Elder?
Okay.
That they did. God help us. I can't even think who I would want to play these people though. It's weird because they'd have to be younger if it's going to be the 73, 74 version, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Kev,
like Scooby-Doo Frank.
Weren't we gonna do a Northlands Fest thing?
Yes.
We were.
Yes. We're going to do it tomorrow. Isn't Northlands next weekend?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, because I think we were going to do it today. We were supposed to. Was that the one we were going to do today? And then it was your kid's birthday, so obviously you had to go celebrate that.
My youngest turned 19 today. So.
Oh, there you go. I like this, Dave. That is a great one. Yes.
Oh, that's hot. That is. I love it.
Oh man, I would see that movie. Josh Brolin. Goose does have an ice cream. I did see that. Oh yeah, thanks, Will. You too. Yeah, Goose's ice cream. Did you see that, Kev? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of chunks and ice cream, so I probably would be a no on it. I'm a no on Cherry Garcia because I don't like chunks and ice cream.
Fish food?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I go for the Haagen-Dazs. I go for what Jerry used to do, Haagen-Dazs chocolate. Just straight chocolate ice cream that is dense and.
I hear you. I do Haagen-Dazs coffee. I like the coffee or like Baskin Robbins mint chocolate chip. Those are my like.
Even though Chubby Hubby with the pretzels, that is off the.
Oh, there you go. What about you, Llama? You an ice cream eater?
Yeah, I like ice cream. Ice cream's great.
You tried the Goose?
Classic. I'd try it, but I don't know if I'd like pay Ginny's prices to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben & Jerry's Goose droppings. That's what this is called, is Goose Tracks, like Moose Tracks. So, and I think it's raspberry ice cream with chocolate something in it, maybe.
It's always weird, those specialty like ice cream places, because sometimes it's a hit and sometimes it's like
it's a company called Jenny's.
Yeah, Jenny's.
Yeah. Jenny's makes good ice cream. I've had Jenny's ice cream. It's good.
They do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like
I can't eat too much ice cream. Couple bites, or else I'm waking up 3 a.m. hating my life.
Oh jeez.
What do you mean?
This Metamucil Minute has been brought to you.
You have to like leave your own room.
Back in my day. We're gonna turn it off. This is gonna keep playing. Back in my day.
So it's not a Ben & Jerry's ice cream though. So does this really even count?
That's quite
like, is this the GoBots version of fish food?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is, because you're not quite hitting that level. You've got like a tier 2 ice cream giving the tier 2 band their flavor. You haven't hit that top level, the varsity level of Ben & Jerry's and getting your Ben & Jerry's flavor. That's when you get the jacket.
Will says,
Will though.
Will's on board with Jenny's. I mean, I would try it. Hey, Will, does Jenny's have like standalone stores like Ben & Jerry's does, or do you have to find it only in a store? They do?
Don't worry, Andy. It's the end of the show. It's our wrap-up Goose time.
Yeah,
we really don't ever really talk about
it. The Young Minute is coming. The Young Minute is
coming. Yeah, the Young Minute is coming. Don't worry.
All right, ice cream. Before we do that, let me run through. We got tomorrow, we're dropping the Fish After Parties video. On Friday, I'm up in the air whether I'm going to do the morning show. We'll see. If there's nothing else to talk, unless something huge breaks, I probably won't do it. And
we'll do a member hang at some point.
Hey, Michael, maybe you can answer a question. Are they broadcasting? Are they streaming the Bonnaroo set and the All Good set for Goose? Does anybody know that?
They're streaming Bonnaroo on Hulu.
On Hulu?
On Hulu.
Sweet.
Okay. And then on Saturday, we're going to drop something about Northlands. So cool. We're going to drop something about the Northlands Festival. We got a High Sierra one in the works too, for when we get closer to the end of the month. And make sure you like and subscribe. Think about becoming a member.
That's it. That's it. All right, Cav, you ready? Let's drop it into there. You got your
got it.
All right, do it. Are you doing it? Where is it?
Oh, I thought you were doing it.
I got
the Neil Young Minute. That's right. Friday, June 13th, Talking to the Trees comes out. It is Neil's 46th studio album. 46. So I love that about Neil Young. He's still out there writing songs. Good for him. It's the Chrome Hearts. But Lucas Nelson is out and Spooner Oldham is in. Spooner has played with him for many years now. I thought I had it written down. I didn't. Anyway, so Neil says that it's going to talk about politics, family, and simple pleasures. So
politics, family, and simple pleasures. What more do you want?
He lives with Daryl Hannah, so he's married to Daryl Hannah. Apparently it's kind of like he's invoking his Woody Guthrie though from people. I've read little blurbs from people, and a couple of the songs already came out. So make sure that if you like Neil Young, that you go check that out. And that was your the Neil Young Minute.
46, man. That's impressive. 46 albums.
40, and that's studio. How many live albums has he put out? Man, that's crazy. That just blew my mind. That just really
is. I mean, that's a lot of good for him. Good job, Neil.
He's prolific.
Here you go. Mike Scriven asked this twice, Kev. Stuck on an island, Neil or Bruce?
What, I have to be with one of them? Or
which one do you listen to?
The albums
you can only pick
one
of their albums.
Oh, man, I would pick
Neil.
Probably, I would pick Bruce's Born to Run album if I had to pick between two of them on one album.
But if you could pick their entire catalog, you'd have 46 albums to go through with Neil, which, you know.
Oh, if I had the whole catalog?
So that's at least almost plus his live shit, you'd probably have a third of the year covered right there.
Right. And you'd be so sick of Neil Young. You'd be like, can I get one Dylan? Can I get a Dylan tune, man? Help me out. I really like his 80s stuff, actually. Like the Trans album's fantastic. Old Ways, the country album he did. Goose Tour has been fire. It has been. And I know everybody wants to go watch Goose, so
that's right.
Whole catalog. Yeah, I mean, I could see going Bruce Michael, definitely. And Dave.
The correct answer is Neil Young. Oh, Dave says Neil.
They're gonna go fight over that backstage.
I'm saying I would go Bruce.
The Discord. Go fight over it on the Discord.
That's right. Go join the Discord. That's right. And then go check out the guys in the Marvin. They're probably streaming the Goose show tonight. I don't know if they are or not. I'm just throwing that out there. They probably are, though.
Which started a while ago. Right, that's what we're going to do. We will look for stuff coming up. And we have the after shows coming up. So, hey, are you going to be home on the 4th of July, Llama?
I think so, yeah.
Well, because I figure Tim will be with his kids and T might be in Boulder. So if you want to do an after show.
Yeah, I'll assume.
And if not, it'll be the three of us because I don't know, Llama. I had my first physical therapy today for the shoulder. It went pretty well, but I don't know if I can fly. I don't think I can lift like luggage and carry. I don't know, and I definitely can't do 4 nights of shows. That's for sure. I can do tapers
night 0. That's it.
Yeah. What?
That's what I said. That's what I said.
That's right. That was what Kevin and I talked about in the green room before this. I was like, I'd probably go to tapers, but if I was out there, I'd probably stay for the 4th of July because I'd like to see PHiSH on the 4th. That would be fun. But I probably wouldn't do the other 2 shows. I'd be too like. My shoulder's too fucked up for that right now, and but I don't know. I might just stay home and recover some more and deal with it. So
there you go. All right, leave a
comment. It'd be fun to have you though. It'd be fun to have you any night if you're around and you want to come on. Do it. Let us know because Kevin and I will be here for
the whole tour. Come on with it.
Yeah. Right. Be sure to check us out.
Starts next Friday.
Right on. All right, yeah. So it looks like they are streaming on the Discord. So go check out the Wook Plus Discord and check out the Marvin Discord. And
find your way over to
And we'll talk to y'all over there. And that's it. Kev, play us out. Thanks for coming, Llama. It's good seeing you.
Yeah, man. Nice.
Always nice when Llama stops by. One of these days we got to get 10 back too, and we'll have a force pod again.
Someday. Can't believe Kev forgot Method Man with all the Wu-Tang members.
Did I forget to say Method Man? My fault.
Forgot Ghostface, Raekwon.
We gotta do. I want to do. I think I'll swap out the Neil Young minute for the Wu-Tang minute one of these days and make him do a Wu-Tang minute.
I just want him to pronounce everybody's name in the band again.
What is it? Gaz? Roz?